It's week 14 of the NFL season, and not only is it week 14, but it's officially December, which means the games mean that much more. Let's get straight to my predictions. We start things off with Thursday Night Football, arguably the best game of Thursday nights in general. I'm not counting last week because last week's a special Thanksgiving. In general, the prime Thursday night games, we'll call them. This game is sick. Cowboys versus the Lions. Two teams that are fighting for their life right now, as crazy as it sounds. This is not a playoff game per se, but damn it, losing this game is detrimental to both teams. So they're going to be working their asses off in this one. Unbelievable. We have the Cowboys who are ascending, and we have the Lions who are descending. Cowboys are on a monster streak right now. Cowboys beat Raiders in Vegas after Pickens and Lamb go partying and gambling all night long. They then beat Philly, 21-point comeback, and then they beat Kansas City in like 4 days after beating Philly. This team is on fire right now. And don't look now, Cowboys catch steam and win this game. They're a real threat to win the division and real threat to make the playoffs out of nowhere. And the Lions start off poorly, losing to the Packers, but then really find their own rhythm and get hot again. And now, coming off a loss to the Packers on Thanksgiving Day, week before that, I'm pretty sure, barely squeaked by the Giants, or maybe it was the 2 weeks before that. And the week before the Giants game, they lose to Philly. This team is not looking great. And they really need to start winning these games. And they're playing a hot team, super hot team. But, the Cowboys are hot, yes. But that Philly game and that Kansas City game was in Jerry World. This game ain't in Jerry World. This is in Detroit. And I am concerned about both teams here because Lions can win this game by dominating the time of possession and running the ball down the Cowboys' throats. The Cowboys can dominate this game by just airing it out. We all know the Lions secondary is a bit shaky. And the Cowboys' fucking air attack is unbelievable, arguably the best in the league with Pickens, Lamb, and Dak just going stupid all game long. Ferguson's not bad either. I'm debating about who to take here, but I think it's pretty obvious here. Give me the Lions! Detroit Lions, -3.5, official play. I'm betting this shit. Fuck yeah. You really thought I wasn't going to bet on this game? Hell no. The Lions are like that. They are. We don't need to be shown that the Lions are good. And I am scared because they have a lot of injury concerns. There's a lot of problems with the Lions right now. But let me explain to you something. On paper, the Cowboys should win this game. They're a lot hotter. They need this more. And the Lions secondary is dog shit. And the Cowboys passing attack is unbelievable. Why is it that everybody and their mother is betting on the Cowboys? And the line is moving in favor of the Lions. It was at 3, now it's at 3.5. And everybody's betting on the Cowboys. That's called reverse line movement. Vegas wants you to take the Cowboys, and I'm not taking the Cowboys because Vegas wants me to. Vegas is laying the cheese out, and I'm not a rat. I'm a lion. Lions -3.5, official play, Thursday Night Football. You love to see it, baby. Next game, we have the Sunday games, Seahawks versus Falcons. Interesting game here. Falcons are coming off an absolutely nasty loss to the Jets. If you lose to the Jets, I mean, you're worse than poverty. You're just straight dog shit. You're a dumpster. You're not dumpster fire. You're the dumpster itself. And Seahawks obviously coming off a huge win versus Minnesota. Seahawks have been fucking unbelievable this year. This defense for Seattle is stellar. The Darnold, when he's not playing super good teams, he actually balls out, which Seahawks have that problem. They'll have to get over it, but whatever. This is not an issue in this game. It's in Atlanta, and the Falcons are 7-point underdogs. And this line to me just feels a little bit low. I feel like Seahawks should be bigger favorites than 7. 6.5 even you could get the Seahawks at. It's a little bit trappy in my opinion. And I'm scared. I want Seahawks to win. I think Seattle will win in the fucking NFC West. I ride and die by that. And I know the Rams are the Rams, but come on. We saw last week the Rams are not invincible. It's a toughie here because I feel like everybody's going to be betting on Seattle. Seattle's the hotter team. Seattle's the better team. Falcons are coming off an absolutely embarrassing loss. The season's damn near over for Atlanta, if not already over. Even though they don't have their first round pick, so they're really going to have to still try. They can't just go into full tank mode. The thing that needs to be taken into account, you guys know I love this, travel. West Coast to East Coast, literally West Coast to East Coast, full coast-to-coast trip for Seattle here at a 1 o'clock window. I got to go with Atlanta here, and I have to take them as an official play. Atlanta Falcons, +7, official play. This is fucking risky. This is risky. Taking the Falcons in general is risky, but against a Seattle team that's that good, it's super risky. But I think travel has to come into effect here. Seattle's got to go all the way to Atlanta. It's a tough trip. Tough trip. This shit ain't easy. This shit ain't easy. Not only that, but everybody's going to be on Seattle. Everybody's going to be on Seattle, betting on Seattle to win and everything, seeing how bad Falcons have been this season in general, but especially how bad they were last week versus the Jets. And trust me, I can tell you firsthand, the Jets are garbage. Garbage. Absolute garbage. Yet, that's why it's a trap game, and that's why I got to go with Atlanta here. This is probably my least confident official play, but confident enough to say that Falcons will cover this spread. I'm going to take the Seahawks to win here hesitantly. I actually think Atlanta has a good chance of winning this as well. That's why I'm taking the +7. Atlanta might cover and still lose, but Falcons could pull it off. They could. So that's why I'll say Seattle wins, but don't even put Seattle in a parlay. That's my advice to you guys. Don't even put Seattle in a parlay. It's that risky. But Falcons +7 is an official play from your boy. I like this shit. 2 official plays to start the fucking week after only 2 official plays for the whole week last week. That's what you like to see, baby. Yeah. Next game, we have Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens. AFC North is absolute dog shit this year. I mean, both of these teams are just not that good. Steelers have just been on a downward spiral, while Ravens have been flirting with mediocrity. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Both these teams coming off pretty embarrassing losses. Ravens got worked by the fucking worst defense in the league. And Pittsburgh just got the shit kicked out of them by Buffalo. Which I guess you can argue Pittsburgh's loss isn't that bad because Buffalo is Buffalo. But still, Rodgers is dying out there. The man's fucking nose is broken. His wrist is broken. The guy is on the verge of death. Looking like SpongeBob when he got sick. I'm going with the Ravens flat out here. I can't bet the Steelers on the road. Ravens coming off a loss. I still think they're the better team. They're the healthier team. Steelers offense is non-existent at all. Like, it's completely gone. They can't move the ball. They can't score whatsoever. Baltimore's is not that much better, but I think it's definitely better than what we've seen from Pittsburgh. I'm not going to bet on this game. Not confident enough to bet on this game. Ravens win. Ravens cover. Maybe Pittsburgh shows out for this game because they know how... This is a massive game for standings. Massive. This is the first game I think they play, and I think it's going to come down to Week 18. These two teams play each other, which you guys know, NFL theatrics, NFL scripted, NFL's rigged. It'll come down to that Week 18 matchup. It'll be on Sunday night. Winners in, losers out for the division. So this is still a very, very important game, even though it's going to come down to that. You just know it. I think Ravens pull this one off at home, coming off a pretty bad loss. Technically, Ravens had an extended break because they played Thursday last week, and this is a Sunday game, while Steelers played on Sunday. This is a tough game to bet on, tough game to even predict. But I got to go with the team that's slightly better, and that's Baltimore. Baltimore wins, Baltimore covers. No bet for me on this one. Next game, we have the Tennessee Titans versus the Cleveland Browns. They told me bust out my AP, perfect timing. Browns starting Shador. They're actually pretty fucking big favorites. I know they're only 3.5 point favorites, but for Shador Sanders being your starting quarterback, 3.5 is a lot. Look, everybody knows by now how much I like Tennessee. Everybody knows this team just has a grip on me, similar to Arkansas in college football, where they're absolute dog shit. They don't win games, but I fucking bet on them all the time, irresponsibly. I've been good with Tennessee, actually, as of late. I've stopped, and it's worked pretty well. This is a fucking difficult one. And why it is difficult is because of the Cleveland Brown defense. Shador sucks. And if this is going to become a battle of Cam versus Shador, Cam Ward is going to outplay, outball, whatever you want to say, Shador all day long. All day long. But that Cleveland defense might have Cam Ward in hell. And the thing is that the Tennessee defense isn't that good. So it might be overinflated. Shador stats will be overinflated because of that. Even if it's not Shador, it could be Judkins who just goes down and kills Tennessee by themselves. I want to take Tennessee here. And I will take Tennessee here. But I won't take them as an official play. That's the heartbreaking part. It's the Cleveland defense that's scaring the fuck out of me. Myles Garrett might break the sack record in this game by himself, which he's going to break it, by the way, which is unbelievable. I know right now I think Strahan has it, or TJ Watt and Strahan are tied for the exact same number. I think Garrett is already at like 18 or 19 sacks. He's like 4 away, and there's like 5 games left. Or is there 5 games left? What is it? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, 5 games. So Garrett's going to break this fucking sack record by himself this fucking week. That's what scares the fuck out of me. That Cleveland defense is baller. They're at home. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be cold. The way Cleveland plays offensively, Shador not throwing the ball and having them run the ball down the field, it works for them in these type of conditions. I'm going Tennessee to cover. I'm going Tennessee to win. And I'm going to be praying, hoping and praying that the Titans cover the spread, win the game, and Cam Ward outplay Shador so everybody can shut their mouths about Shador. It's funny, week prior, I heard all this hype about Shador, but after last week's performance, I don't hear nothing about Shador. And I don't even think he played that bad. Shador still sucks, though. I got to stop talking about him because I feel like now it's Cleveland Browns, all you do is talk about Shador. Tennessee wins. Tennessee covers in a game that I might live bet Titans if given the opportunity, but probably not because the Cleveland defense, the Cleveland running game will be the reason they win this game more likely than not. But I'm delusional, and I want Tennessee to win because I hate Shador, and I actually like Tennessee. You guys know I fuck with Tennessee. So Tennessee covers, Tennessee wins. No bet for me on this one. I have to hold myself back. I do. Next game, Colts versus Jaguars. Humongous game for the AFC South. I think these two teams have the exact same record at the moment. Winner takes control of the AFC South. Doesn't necessarily win it, but definitely puts themselves in a very strong position to win it. Simply put, I still think the Jags are mid. I do. I don't think they're all that. I don't think Liam Cohen is that good. I'm not hype on this Jaguars team at all. But they do find ways to win games, and you got to give them credit for that. Colts, on the other hand, start off super hot and now are really cooling off. Sauce Gardner's out. He has a calf injury. Daniel Jones, Indiana Jones, Danny Pennies, whatever you want to call him, has a fractured fibula, which restricts his mobility. Now he's becoming more of a pocket passer, and that's the problem. And that's a huge problem because Colts early in the year would roll Danny out a lot, have him run the ball, make him a dual threat quarterback like he is. He is a dual threat quarterback. But now you can't really do that with a fractured fibula because that's just going to break in half at one time if you keep running the ball. Not only that, not only are the Colts descending and the Jags are flirting with mediocrity, but the beautiful, sexy stat that I always love to see whenever these two teams play each other is Indianapolis Colts do not win games in Jacksonville. It's like a problem for Colts. They can never, ever win in Jacksonville going back years. I mean, I think 10 plus years at this point. They struggle badly in Jacksonville. I forget what year it was. I think it was 2021. I could be wrong. Whenever Carson Wentz was the starting quarterback for the Colts, I think it was 2021, Colts played the Jaguars in the very last game of the year. If Colts win, they're in. If Jags win, they're out. Colts are out. Mind you, this is the year Jaguars were the worst team in the league. They got the first overall pick. I think, so it must have been either they got Trevor or got Trayvon Walker. Jaguars were the worst team in the league. And the Colts lost that game in Jacksonville, in Clown Town. I remember people wearing clown noses and dressing up as clowns because to make fun of the owner. Simply put, my long soliloquy, Colts do not win in Jacksonville. I'm going Duval County money line. Official play. Duval. Yeah, Duval County's winning this bitch. Indianapolis are falling off a cliff. They can't win in Jacksonville. I don't think the Jags are that good, but the stats say take the Jags because the Colts suck in Jacksonville. And not only do the Colts suck in Jacksonville, but this Colts team is slowing down like a motherfucker. Give me Duval County, Jacksonville Jaguars, money line, official play. They win this bitch straight up. I genuinely cannot believe they are underdogs here. Probably my favorite bet of this week is this Jaguars bet. I cannot believe I am getting Duval County money line at plus 110. That's fucking crazy. The hype for the Colts is still there, and you can see it because people are trying to buy into the Colts thinking they're still legit, but they're falling off a cliff. It's the yearly AFC South fall off. The team that starts out super hot in the AFC South falls off a cliff every year at this point, right? I know Jacksonville did it a few years back. I lost a shit ton of money that year because of Jacksonville. That's another story for another day. Who else did it? I know someone else fucking did it also. It's a yearly thing with Jacksonville. They always fucking do this shit. Maybe it was Tennessee. Yes, it was Tennessee when Jacksonville took over the division. Whatever. Yearly, annual, fall off, whatever you want to call it. Jacksonville Jaguars money line, official play, next game. Washington versus Minnesota. Oh my God, this game is disgusting. This game is fucking disgusting. Minnesota sucks balls. I don't care who the fuck is playing quarterback for them. The fucking Max Bowser, 9, fucking Wentz after his surgery. They suck. They suck balls. And Washington, they decent? I guess you could call them decent? Coming off a very impressive performance versus Denver that nobody really expected, where they were 1 2-point conversion away from winning. Yet they're underdogs. They're underdogs versus fucking the Vikings. I don't even know who's playing quarterback for them. And at this point, the punter could play quarterback for them, and he'd be a better quarterback. You got one dude who's an undrafted rookie who obviously is probably not going to make it in the NFL because the likelihood of that happening is very low. You have fucking 9 who's like schizophrenic thinking he's Batman and shit. Like, the kid sucks. 9 is awful. I made the joke before. The kid's nickname is 9 because he's going to be working on 9 to 5 real fucking soon with the way he's been playing. I'm not touching this game with a 10-foot pole. No fucking way. I'm taking Washington to cover. I'm taking Washington to win because they are the better team, and they've been playing like the better team. And overall, they have a pretty talented roster. Obviously, the injuries are the problem this year. My glorious King, JD, obviously he's been banged up, damn near broke his arm. I don't think he actually broke it, but still, recover. Rest up, King. Rest up, King. Next year will be our year to take over the NFL. All they do is talk about Drake May and Caleb this year. Yeah. Don't forget about the god that is Jaden Daniels. But yeah, in this game, I'm not touching it. Why are the Vikings favored? It's clearly a trap. I'm not ballsy enough to take the Vikings money line here because are you crazy? But I'm also not confident enough taking Washington knowing it's a trap game. So I'll say Washington wins, Washington covers in a game that I probably will not watch nor bet on. Next game, Dolphins versus the Jets. I made this joke in the president's video. This game is the battle of who can fuck up their draft position more. Two teams that just love to suck in the beginning of the year and then decide to play meaningful football in December. Being a Jets fan, I see it every fucking year. Every year, it's the same shit with this team, where in December, they win 1, maybe even 2 meaningless games. Last week, we did it. This week, we'll do it again. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. The Jets are going to win this game. They're going to play well. Defense is going to show up. They're going to stop Miami's run, because Miami's actually been kind of hot last couple weeks. They're going to stop Miami's run game. Tyrod's going to move the ball. Everyone's going to ball out for the Jets. They're going to look like an actual competent football team, but yet that competence wasn't anywhere to be found in the beginning of the year. When we needed this type of performance in September, October, fuck it, who cares? Now it's December, let's fuck up our draft pick. I'm going to take the Dolphins. I want the Jets to lose. I know there's a lot of debate over any fandom, by the way. This isn't specific to the Jets. This is any team that's poverty, where a lot of fans debate, should you be rooting for your team to win no matter what? Or at this point in the season, should you be rooting for your team to lose? Right? I live, breathe, and die by my Jets. I don't have to prove shit to nobody about my loyalty to this team. And I'm telling you, being that I will be a fan next year, being that I will be a fan the year after that, and being that I probably will be a fan of the Jets until I fucking die, unless they make the crazy ass move of leaving New York, which they'll never fucking do because New York is a cash cow. I want future. I care about the future. And the future lays in getting a better draft pick, either to trade down and get better draft capital for future drafts, or maybe somehow finding a diamond. You know what I mean? In the top 5, which we've done before. We just traded one. We just traded 2, actually, I should say. I'm going to pick the Dolphins here. Dolphins win. Dolphins cover. The Dolphins have been actually on a little bit of a run. They've been beating up on shittier teams, don't get me wrong. Besides the Buffalo game. That Buffalo game was like really impressive. But still, you know, they beat Buffalo, beat Washington in Madrid, España. They beat, who they beat last week? The Saints. I know they're shitty teams. But Dolphins are also a shitty team. And they're starting to slowly build momentum. That's why they're favored on the road in New York. Mind you, we all know Dolphins suck in the cold weather. And I mean, I can tell you the weather report right now. It's not fucking freezing, but it's definitely not pleasant. It's not Miami. We'll put it like that. It's not Miami in December. Dolphins win, Dolphins cover, but you guys know Jets are going to win this one. I said it last week. Jets are going to win this one. It's lunacy at this point. It is. Next game, we have the Saints versus the Buccaneers. Oh my God, I don't think I could care less about a game than I do about this one. Buccaneers are humongous favorites, 8.5-point favorites against the shitty Saints team. This team absolutely sucks balls. Even though they did not play all that bad versus Miami last week, nevertheless, Buccaneers are actually in a heated battle with the Panthers for their division. As crazy as it sounds, the Buccaneers are neck and neck with the Panthers for their division. Every game matters, and especially kind of layup games, you can say. There's no such thing as a layup game in the NFL, but closer to a layup game are must-wins for Tampa. I got the Buccaneers here. Buccaneers cover. Buccaneers win. Buccaneers win by manslaughter. Buccaneers win by whatever the fuck they want. This ain't going to be a game, that's for sure. I'd be shocked if Saints even put up a fight. I think Baker Bakes goes stupid. High offensive output from the Buccaneers. Everybody balls out. I think Bucky's healthy again. Bucky goes crazy. I don't see how the Buccaneers lose this, let alone not even cover the spread. So give me the Buccaneers to win. Buccaneers cover. I'd be shocked if Saints put up a fight, in all honesty. Next game. Next we have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Very interesting one with a disgustingly high total. They're basically saying there's going to be no defense played in this game. And I would assume there won't be because defense is non-existent in general for both of these teams. Bengals defense is absolutely dog shit and the Bills defense isn't that much better. You know what's funny? I keep thinking about this game because I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the last time these two teams played in the regular season, asterisk, regular season, I know they played in the playoffs after what I'm about to say, because you guys know what I'm talking about, was the game where Damar Hamlin died on the field and then came back to life. Regular season, not playoffs. I know they played in the playoffs after that. But I'm saying this is the first regular season game since that happened, which is crazy. It feels like it just happened yesterday. That was like what, right after New Year's Day? Like January 2nd, January 3rd, like 2023, if I'm not wrong. Time flies, right? Yeah, so I kept thinking about that. I was wondering if I should make a reference to that in the president's video, but I said, it's not going to be a good joke. You guys know I like to fuck around and shit, but I am respectful. The man damn near died. But yeah, doesn't matter for this game because it has nothing to do with anything. Two completely different teams at this point. Tough game here. Bills being 5.5-point favorites feels a little bit trappy. But I feel like the public and maybe even Vegas just doesn't understand that the Bengals with Burrow are a different beast and they're going for it all. It's now or never for Cincy. They essentially need to win out to go and have a chance at their division. I got to go with Cincy here. I really do. Spread is ginormous. Everything is just too big. They're giving too much respect to the Bills here. Way too much respect to the Bills. Bengals are capable of going into Buffalo and beating them straight up because Bengals went into fucking Baltimore and beat them straight up last week. I'm going with the Bengals here. I'm not going to bet it. Not confident enough to bet this game. But I would take Bengals win, Bengals cover. I'll watch this one. I'll probably be watching this one unless it's on CBS. I don't even know what the schedule looks for the networks. But Bengals should be able to win this. The Bills are decent. They have their up and down moments. Sometimes they look good. Sometimes they look really, really bad. I'm taking that Bengals offense over the Bills offense. I know. Besides the running game, I think Bengals offense is better. I really do. Chase. What are the Bills going to do about Chase and Higgins? What are they going to do? I can't tell you. I can see the Bengals defense being motivated from last week and carrying on that momentum. All those turnovers they caused, that great defensive play that they had in every goddamn moment of the game, they can replicate, I think, versus Buffalo. A little bit of a trap spread, and that's why I'm not betting it. Actually, funny enough, if it was lower, if it was 3, Buffalo -3, I probably would have taken Bengals as an official play. But this could be one of those games where Vegas knows something we don't, and that's why they're making this spread 5.5 points. Because I could see fucking Bills winning by 7 and covering the spread. And that's the fucking problem. So I'll say Bengals cover, Bengals win. No bet for me on this one. Maybe this is a live betting game. If I could get the Bengals live, +10, I would take them. But again, be careful with this game because it could be back and forth and then Bills just score 2 late touchdowns to ice the game and it's they lose by 14 when in reality it was a much closer game. That's the problem with these type of games, especially with very high-powered offenses, which these are 2 of the best offenses in the NFL. So, next game, Broncos versus Raiders. Okay, Raiders suck balls. We all know this. Raiders are just atrocious. Broncos record makes them look a lot better than they are. They're the Chiefs of last year. Every goddamn week, they're on the verge of losing. And every goddamn week, they find a way to win. My concern with Denver is that they win these games, but they do not win them convincingly at all. Matter of fact, last time these two teams played, I'm pretty sure it was on Thursday night, the Raiders kept it really, really close. And it was very competitive. And that was in Denver, by the way. It's just there's so many games off the top of my head that you can think of for the Broncos, Jets, Giants, last week versus Washington, the game versus the Raiders, where they just should have won big. And they barely squeezed by. They keep doing this. And I don't see why I shouldn't ride with it again. Raiders, +7.5. Official play! I know taking the Raiders is risky. I know it's scary. But I'm rolling with fucking Vegas, baby. Raiders +7.5. Official play! Broncos might win this game. They might lose this game. But I get to take the Raiders as a 7.5 point division dog. Division dogs matter, right? When you're a dog versus a divisional opponent, it matters, especially at home. I can see it going any way possible, but I don't see a Broncos blowout victory. I see either Raiders losing in a close one like they did last time, or Raiders winning this game straight up, this being the upset of the week, the parlay buster of the week. Broncos will get exposed one way or another. That's going to happen. Their time will come, and I'll be ready to make a profit on that. But we're saving that for January. That's in January. In December, they'll keep flirting with disaster. Raiders, +7.5, official play. I'll say Broncos win this one just for shits and gigs. But similar to the Falcons game, this is actually exactly like the Falcons game, where I would not be surprised if Raiders win this bitch straight up, like the Falcons winning that one straight up. We'll see. But yeah, I'm pretty confident in taking the Raiders +7.5. I don't see if this being a bad idea. And I might look like an idiot crying about how Pete Carroll is old as fuck and Geno's a terrorist, but I'll roll with it. Me and the Raiders have a love affair. Similar to the Titans. Raiders +7.5, official play. Next game, we have the Bears versus the Packers. Woo! Woo! Big game in the NFC North. Scary. Very scary that the Packers are humongous favorites, 6.5 point favorites. But we kept calling Bears fake. We kept calling the Bears cupcake. And they went into Philadelphia last week and beat the Eagles straight up, which, by the way, they were 7-point dogs in that game. And they beat Philly straight up in Philly. But Philly's fraudulent. Philly are not the Packers. The Packers are the Packers. And the Packers are coming off their own monumental win in Detroit. I'm rolling with fucking Green Bay here. Look, the Bears are good. The Bears are not cupcake. They proved it to us last week. But are they really going to go into Philadelphia one week, beat them straight up, and the very next week going to the Green Bay and beat Green Bay straight up? Hell no. Not to mention, Toyotathon is here. It's officially Toyotathon. Jordan Love during Toyotathon. If you don't know, now you know. Google Jordan Love during Toyotathon. The man's stats are out of this world. The guy's playing like fucking prime Drew Brees, prime Peyton Manning, and prime Tom Brady mixed into one. Toyotathon makes this man come alive. Packers win. Packers cover. I think Packers win this one convincingly and easily and assert themselves again as a real Super Bowl contender. Is in an NFC that's pretty wide open. I should say in an NFL that's pretty wide open. There's no real contenders in the AFC, and there's not many serious contenders in the NFC. And I think Packers assert themselves as one with a big statement win over Chicago. I don't know what their records are, but I would assume a Packers win and a Bears loss would flip the two. But I know the Packers do have that tie with the Cowboys, so I don't know how it affects anything. But a big game that could affect the standings in the NFC North in the long run either way. So Packers win, Packers cover, not betting it, not confident enough to lay 6.5 points with the Packers, especially with the Bears team. There's a reason they call the Cardiac Bears, and they do their thing and keep it close. So they could cover, but I don't think they win. So Packers win convincingly. That I'm pretty confident about, and Packers cover, but I'm not confident enough to bet it. Next game, Rams versus Cardinals. This game is very similar to the Raiders-Broncos one. You get a pretty big division home dog. And I really do want to take the Cardinals, but I won't for one reason and one reason only. Rams coming off a loss could be dangerous, and the Rams are going to be extremely, extremely hungry because they lost in a not embarrassing fashion, but they were big favorites. They should have beat the Panthers, and they lost straight up. And they were getting all the hype in the world coming into that game. Now they need to prove themselves again. Losing this one is bad, real bad, especially with Seattle and San Fran right on their ass. So I'll say, for video's sake, I'll say Cardinals cover, Rams win. I'm not betting it though. I would bet Cardinals, but I just feel like the Rams might make a statement here, like a big, big statement. And I know division home dogs, you should take the division home dog, but I can't do it at this point in time. I'm a little nervous, a little scared. So I'll say Cardinals win, Rams cover, but Rams might win by 50 in a statement just to prove that they're still the Rams. Stafford's going to ball out. That performance from Stafford last week was an outlier. We know that. Stafford's been there, done that. He is still Stafford and will probably win MVP. I really hope he wins MVP, but, you know. So yeah, Cardinals cover, Rams win, not touching the game, but I would touch the Cardinals if that's what I was, if I was betting on it. That's the way I should phrase it. Next game, Sunday Night Football, Texans, Chiefs, big boy game. Big boy game. Sunday night, Collinsworth is going to have Mahomes' dick in his mouth, and probably so are the refs. But clearly this year, it hasn't been the case. So maybe things have changed, and the pendulum has swung. Look, the Chiefs are in must-win mode by far. Like they're in must-win mode. And the Texans are fucking getting hot. The Texans are getting super hot. This defense is playing lights out. They're proving it week in and week out. Big win over Buffalo. Big win versus Indianapolis. That this team is legit off that defensive performance. But not only that, but the offense is starting to play a lot better. But the Chiefs are the Chiefs. And I'm not touching this game. I'm not betting it. Because it feels like I bet on the Chiefs 2 weeks in a row. They cost me both fucking times. Should have bet on the Chiefs last week. I would have. I didn't, thank God. Would have lost, obviously. They lost straight up to the boys. 3.5 again! Why does Las Vegas love making the Chiefs 3.5 point favorites? I can't do it. For the video, Chiefs win, Chiefs cover. Live bet the Chiefs if possible. But I could see the Texans winning this bitch straight up. I really could. I could see Texans just bullying bullying the Chiefs O-line because they've been bullying everybody's O-line as of late. And Stroud doing his thing. But it's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs. I have faith in the Chiefs. It's still them. Mahomes is the quarterback. Andy Reid is the head coach. As long as those two are representing the Chiefs organization, they are going to be competitive. I can't do it. I can't do it as much as I want to. So Chiefs win. Chiefs cover in a game I'm not fucking betting on because I just know it's going to come back to bite me in the ass. Chiefs win, Chiefs cover. That's enough for me on this game before I say something like official play Chiefs. Next game, Monday Night Football. Eagles versus Chargers. I'm a little bit surprised by this line. This is a little bit trappy if I do say so myself. Eagles on the road, 2.5-point favorites. Is this overreaction by Vegas, seeing that Philly coming off a nasty loss and in general have just not been that good this year, not that convincing? Super Bowl hangover, I don't know. Look, simply put, Chargers O-line is injured and fucked up and not that good because of the injuries, not in general. Eagles D-line is very strong. And I know Jalen Carter's not playing in this one. This is going to be a low-scoring defensive game. It's going to be slow. It's going to be nasty. It's going to be ugly. I think Eagles actually outplay the Chargers in this one defensively, significantly. And because of that, Eagles win in a very low-scoring one. If this is a high-scoring shootout, I'll take the Chargers, but I don't think it will be. I think the Eagles play very well here, coming off a pretty embarrassing loss. They need to prove themselves, especially with the Cowboys on their asses. So I'm going to take the Eagles here. Eagles win, Eagles cover. Now, will I bet this game? Absolutely not. Will I be hate watching this game, hoping the Eagles lose? Absolutely. Hell yeah, I want the Eagles to lose, but this is not a game I think they'll lose. I really don't think they'll lose this one. I think they'll outplay the Chargers. Chargers have too many injuries. If this was the healthy Chargers team that started the season, I would take the Chargers confidently, but it's not. We all know that, and that's why Philly has to win this game with how bad everything's going, unless they're heading for a 2023 style of collapse. That's the reality. So Eagles win. Eagles cover in what should be a Monday night game. We'll say that because I do think it's going to be slow, ugly, defensive the way Eagles want it to be. That's the reality. Those are my predictions for Week 14 of the NFL season. Let me know your thoughts down below. I pray I can go perfect so we can slowly start to climb our way out of the nasty hole I've dug myself in with betting like garbage on the NFL. But nevertheless, hopefully we have a good week of football. That's all that matters. Let me know your thoughts down below and stay tuned for my college football conference championship picks coming real soon.